Penis. My penis. Ow, ow, ow! Let's see if anybody knows where that sound is from, right? It's a dated reference. It's one that's, I believe, from the mid-2000s, back when everything was better. Ow, ow, ow. Let's see how deep-rooted your tism goes if you get that particular reference. Top Notch says, guess who's sober? Off Oxy Boy. Now, that's the thing. I don't know if that's you being... I don't know if the right way to pronounce it is facetious, or if that's just me adding my tardness to that particular word. But I'm more inclined to believe it. And if it is the case, well then, congrats, my friend. I feel like you've done something that most people aren't capable of, right? That seems to be a hard one to pull your grasp from, as I've been told. Hane says, yo. Anthony says, what's up? Or you say this right here, which this in England means fuck off, right? But this just means that you're a fan of, I don't know, who came up with this? First of all, who came up with this to mean peace? I don't know that in particular. Cut up some rails, buddy. Let's blast off, says Daniel. I'm sure in your break from your current gig. I'm not sure if you want to divulge that piece of information. I do recall during the old ham radios having to be discreet about your previous jobs, which I found quite interesting. I'll be able to watch more of the streams now that I got 28 days off of work. Is that connected to you getting off of Oxy? I'm not sure. By the way, the answer is Grape Lady. The answer is Grape Lady. That was the answer to my query. Get it? Query, right? Everything works. Everything's connected, my friends. Don't think that you're not part of some sort of weird meta universe. Everything's connected. You just have to look for the connections. It was the Grape Lady. The Grapist. One of my favorite videos of all time. Grape Lady fails.
Here's to arts and crafts. It's a lot of fun, a whole day.
Here it comes.
Oh, stop.
Oh, God, the classics.
I can't breathe. Stop. No. Oh, dear.
Oh, no. I feel like reporters had the same sort of vibe for 9/11. There's no difference between their reaction to Grape Lady falling off her her proverbial stoop there, if you want to call it that, and reporters' reaction across the board for 9/11. Which is an odd thing. Welcome to the stream, my friends. As I've mentioned before, I'm streaming on both YouTube and or Twitch at the same time. It's the same stream. You're not getting anything different. As a matter of fact, I can't even see Twitch right now. I could only see let me see the account. Let me go to twitch.tv/pigcake with 2 E's 69, because unfortunately we have some creatures that took my original name. But I'm streaming every day in October. Why? Because I feel like it. I don't know. I feel like one of the things that I enjoy doing the most on this channel is streaming and providing content this way. So why not try it for the month of October? If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't work out, well then I guess everybody's wasted their time. But by, technically we've all wasted our time, right? If you're watching my channel. And if you're not doing that, you're wasting your time in other ways. So it's not like this is a big deal. But if you want to watch it on Twitch, the option is there. Hungry and Hungover says, I signed up for Rumble, and I see that you have an account there too. Yeah, I'm trying to spread my PigCake portfolio. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to catch anywhere. But that's fine. That's good. I live in my little niche, surrounded by the muck. All right, and I'm glad that you could join me here on the muck. So we have a couple of topics that we're going to get through. Obviously, these shows being every day, right? I have to come up with stuff, right? We have to gather stuff that's topical, stuff that's evergreen, as is the Grape Lady. That Grape Lady is probably going to be taught in the history books hundreds of years from now as an example of media fails. I do love this sort of branch out that we've done from news, where it used to be very rigid, and now you see news reporters being a little bit more free-flowing, adding their opinions to stuff, which could be its own bag of worms. But back then, you have a perfectly normal thing to happen, which is a human falls down, and the response from the news anchors are, oh, whoops, we hope that she's fine. Staying in character. At least show some humanity. I don't know what they do in news reporting school, that they remove your humanity and they have you speak like robots, but it's gross. JT says, I need to buy that shirt for Liz. Where did you get it? I got this from Spencer's. They had a sale. I looked in a bin, and I was lied to because they said that they were selling shirts for like $5 each. And then lo and behold, this shirt was about $12, and the other shirt was whatever the fuck. But it ended up coming up to like $26 that I spent on joke shirts. So who's really getting the cake in their face? The pie. The cream pie in their face, if you would. I've also added this. I know a lot about. I've added that as well, but that's not what I was intending. I've also added this. I've added that to the mix. Every time I feel like I bomb a joke, guess what? Car crash. I hope that the noise isn't as obnoxious as it was when I first put it. Because when I first put it, I noticed that it was peaking and almost considered to be ear when you go into somebody's ear without consent. So that was what the original sound was like. But I do have some fun topics here, some topical things. I put a video out today about drama and how we need scandals in the magic community. And then oddly enough, somebody left a comment regarding a little scandal that happened a couple years back, and then they deleted the comment. But I have the thing there, so I could still see the channel that they were referencing. So maybe you guys in the magic community know a little bit better, a little bit more than I do about this particular thing. But I'd be interested in doing this and making it into a full-fledged video, the topic that I'm going to get into. You should have guessed. Maybe a guy with a ridiculous past not named Xavier Spade. Maybe. I need to hit him up. Right, Russian Genius has actually been hitting me up recently. I'm terrible when it comes to responding to anybody's messages, so unfortunately, he's feeling the brunt of that. But he's been reaching out. So I think that guy's actually going to be seen relatively soon, I believe, back on his channel. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Trump showed you people that you could be yourself in a professional setting, whether it's good or bad. Well, I think that there's a limit, right? Because I believe that obviously you should be yourself. But at the same time, I feel like now companies are taking that and going, oh, we'll just play the role of being the cool company, right? We'll have clever quips on Twitter, and we'll have videos that are a little bit more loose, a little bit less professional than you're used to. And now it's becoming a thing to the point where it's no longer cool. It's no longer different. Now every company's doing that. Wendy's was great with that, with their little retorts on Twitter. But now every company is person-splaining you things, right? It's people-splaining things. Like instead of saying, speaking in a professional way as you are used to from companies, now they're like, sup, man? Hey, I notice you have some items in your cart, right? Here's a little reminder that you should use this code and get yourself some 10% off. And it's like you're trying to speak to me like that Steve Buscemi meme, where he's trying to be a high schooler. Leonard Miller, you think the birds aren't real? Guy throwing up on live TV was staged. I have no idea what that is. If you could link that to me in some way, whether on Discord or another thing, I would love that. I would love to see that. The birds aren't real guy throwing up on TV. I'm familiar with the movement of birds aren't real, much like the flat earth theory, right? Which to call any of those theories, it's, I would say juvenile, but I'm more inclined to believe the birds aren't real side of things rather than the flat earth. I love RG to make a comeback. That guy was big during my formative years. I was trying to, that's how my mind works, right? That's how the tardiness works in my mind, that I just talked about Russian Genius, and then I saw RG, and I'm making the connections. You could see the neurons firing in my head as to who you're talking about. I'm like, wait, RB? Like from the channel, RG, like Ruth Ginsburg, Obviously, Russian genius, right? Context, silly. Context. Be better. I need to be better.
Be better. Be better. Be better. Be better.
Be better. There you go. Thank you. That took way longer than it needed to. That's why Daniel needs to bring the fucking stream deck that we used to use. Dat Der Pro says, welcome to the muck, right? The muck is where the PigCake community thrives. It's where we live. Anytime you see anybody saying anything in regards to the positivity of the magic community, I'd like to remind them to just look at this particular channel and its viewers, its consumers, if you would. Let's see what we have here. We do have some stuff that I want to get through, but actually, no, yeah, I guess we'll start with this. Today, I put a video. On the channel about scandals. Somebody left a comment and then deleted it in regards to this channel. They said, hey, can we talk, or you should talk about the scandal of when this person was doing reviews on YouTube. This is, I guess, a magician that does reviews, and they were scared away from doing reviews because of a magic reviewer. And I left a response asking who's the magic reviewer that scared them away from doing reviews. And they deleted the comment. So I don't know if this is a thing, right? It's so niche, but this is the sort of thing that I'd like to get a deep dive into. She's very attractive, by the way. I'm not just saying that because I'm comparing her to other female magicians, but there's something about her, something gypsy-like, that I seem to enjoy seeing this. But is this a thing? Is this a little bit of magic drama that I've missed out on? But apparently there's a magic reviewer that scared this particular individual away from doing reviews, and I want to know. I want to know. So if you have any information on this, please let me know. Because, again, that's where I thrive. I thrive in the muck, my friends. The muck being stuff like that. And I don't know if that's just old news, ancient Chinese secret, but it might be. It might be. Anthony Crapella, you liking my coin through coin video? Yeah, I saw that on Facebook, right? I was looking for it on TikTok, but I don't know if you had posted it on TikTok and then on Facebook. But yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know how that would be remotely possible. I know I've seen people do that before, that sort of bit, right? But I just don't. My virginity only knows so much, so little when it comes to that sort of stuff. But it looks tremendous. You just grab a coin, you drop the other coin, and it looks like it goes right through. Ridiculous stuff. Okay, I'm back. I sent you the link, right? The link on Instagram. Let me go to my my Google here. I'm sorry if this is not riveting for you, riveting television, but alas, this is the way we have to do things here. Maybe I should do it on Discord, right? And kind of bring that back up and go, hey, buddy, maybe if you want to leave a link on Discord. But let's see here, requests. Leo Miller says a request. All right, this looks pretty disgusting. But let me accept this message from you and move you to the primary inbox. Why would, by the way, Instagram make it like, oh, now I have 14 different inboxes, right? I don't want that. I want one. So this, let me see the link here. Let me copy it so you guys could see what I'm looking at, because other than that, could you imagine? This is just a show, right? You get to see me looking at stuff without you being aware of things. So let's copy this here and hope that it's not pornography. Okay, so let me show you. With this swift transition, my friends. Swift transition here that we have on the channel. Dat Der Pro says the butcher is back. As I've mentioned before, the butcher is too busy attending rallies and peaceful protest to bother me anymore. But this guy is a birds aren't real. Do you think he did this on purpose? So I've seen this guy before. Let's see what this shtick is.
Gen Z in America. Gen Z is full of some amazing men, women, and children that are
very low, but
change. And I think that is, just what our movement's all about.
But it's more than just Gen Z's falling for conspiracy theories. Why?
Yeah, this is.
No, right?
I'm so nervous. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, well, what's.
Well, we hope you're okay. Why don't we give you some time to collect yourself?
Yeah, that's a bit. That's a bit. That's what we're in the business. call a bit. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't take links from people. Maybe, Leonard, I shouldn't take links. Hey, a good way of interacting. I get links and then we get to see it all live. No, maybe I should not do that. If that's going to be the sort of quality that I could expect. Yeah, that's a bit, right? It would have been very impressive if he did it without drinking and then pretending to vomit. That would have been more impressive if he's just there talking and then out of nowhere he just blabs and starts vomiting. That would have been way better. And even if you, for example, got it down the wrong way, right? Like you drink it and it goes down what we call the camino viejo, right? That's what the old school Cubans would say. You're not going to react that way. You're going to cough. You're not going to throw it out of your mouth. So obviously that's a bit the detective work. You know what? You're going to get a car crash. You got a car crash. You deserve a car crash for that. Not in person. I'm saying metaphorically. It's not I don't mean, And it's not like it matters if I say that. I hate those people. Not to go on a complete other tirade, but the one thing I hate, I hate a lot of things. But the second most thing that I hate is people that go, don't say that. Don't say that, as if me saying the words is somehow going to manifest it. Like, oh, I hope your plane crashes. You think me saying that is going to make your plane crash? My mom still thinks I gave her diabetes, by the way. That's a thing. That happened. This will get you banned off Twitch. Vomit. Delete that off of Twitch. Well, it's not technically vomit, right? It's spilling. You could argue it's spilling liquid from his mouth that he consumed immediately before. That's a weird thing, by the way, to have on your terms of service, if that's a thing on Twitch, if part of it is no vomiting. I know that they have very specific thing because people have weird fetishes, and obviously we sexualize absolutely everything. So I'm sure that has something to do with that. But I know that obviously the titty streamers, that's a big deal. Obviously on Twitch, I feel like the majority of their moderators and their staff seems to be, people that would enjoy that sort of content. So it makes sense as to why they haven't completely removed them from their platform. Dang, I let you down. It's okay, Leonard. I get let down by myself every time I look in the mirror. I get let down because I realize, wow, man. Wow. Like that's how you look like. But as you could see from the thumbnail of this particular video, that's a good example of what I used to look like, right? That's a good example. Obviously, you could see the thumbnail. You clicked on it to watch this. Pretty aggressive, right? That was a very cringe haircut I had. Pretty bad. That picture, as a matter of fact, was taken in front of a sign that said no motorcycles allowed. And I thought, hey, that's cool. I just got a motorcycle. And I'm in front of a sign that says no motorcycles. That's one of those instances where you look back and you call yourself a slur, right? Loudly. Sean Devine says, howdy, folks. Howdy, Sean. Good to have you here. Let's go here. You're getting a great cost per wear on that Spencer's Gifts t-shirt. Yes. I'm definitely getting my use in. And the fact that I'm using it here on a stream means that I could write it off, right? Although you're keying through it, so you could see right through my body. Look at how dumb I am that I could assume that you could see my hand through it. But you could definitely see the Japanese commercials that I need to work on, by the way, because that needs to get brighter so that I could do the keying effect better when I do the other transition. We're improving every day. My friends. We're going up. We're going up in places where this channel has never been. Like where other shitty channels start off. Right? This is where we're going. You see the difference there? They started off shitty. We're getting to there. That could be a car crash, but it's not necessarily going to be a car crash. Jonathan Rosario says, much love, El Pigo. Right back at you, dog. And hungry and hungover, a magician walks into the doctor's office. He says, I'm an expert at diminishing lift. The doctor says, you're also an expert at diminishing testosterone. See, what I would have said is a magician walks into a doctor's office and says, hey, I'm an expert at the diminishing lift. And the doctor says, you're also a fucking retard. See, I can't completely say it because we're streaming on both platforms, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If Twitch goes away, I don't really care about it. It's just a project at this point. Magic for Beginners says, hi, Piggy. How's it hanging? How's it hanging? You know, well, I've realized that in my age, it keeps drooping. Though it's very droopy until it's cold, and then it gets sucked up right near the rest of it, right near the sausage, which is how I like it. I like it when it's condensed like that. It looks nice and neat, like a good, well-rounded package. Whereas if I put it, for example, just normal, right, in the hot Miami weather, it's disgusting. It looks like it's saggy. It reminds me of Joey Diaz. Joey Diaz has an album where the picture is of his nuts. So that's how my nuts look like on a normal day. JT says, Piggy, you never lie to us. Explain this. Let me click on this and see what it is, and if it's worthy of me putting it up on a stream, because that's going to be a little bit laborious. And it's you surrounded by a bunch of what looks like to be wenches. Wow, okay. You know, okay. I think that might be worth it to put it up here, just for the rating, just so I could rate it, right? Could you, if I could ever ask you for a favor here, could you send me that on Instagram? Send a DM me, right? Slide into my DMs with that link so that I could put it up here, Instagram.com. I have to go up and dodge all the propaganda that I watch on my YouTube in order to, sorry, my homepage is YouTube, so I have to go on Instagram. And I immediately see all the propaganda that I watch. But if you could send it to me, that'd be great. Looks a lot. Looks a bit Action Man. Oh, looks a bit like Action Man. I like it. Yeah, so that's how my balls typically hang, which is a great thing to want to mention on a stream. Let me go here and refresh this big boy here and see if I could put your picture up, JT. By the way, somebody's trying to sell my shirts on eBay. I saw this. Kind of upsetting. Seems to be a stupid market. Right? Seems to be kind of a dumb sort of thing to, what do you call this? To resell the shirt. What? And I've realized, by the way, that shirt is grossly underpriced. I think the profit I make on that shirt is about 50 cents. So I need to rework that on my side of things. But somebody on eBay is reselling it. And I've seen that they do this with a lot of Teespring shirts. Right? So they resell other people's shits. So what are you, drop shipping this? How does that work? You order it from my website, you put the order number in, the name, and then you sell it on your own eBay? That seems a little bit dumb. A little bit redundant. To coin a term, redundant, right? Especially that one. There are way better shirts that I should actually pull up right now. JT sent me a message, as did Anthony on my Instagram. There you go. Let's see this. Get wrecked, son. This is what a breast pass gets you. A breast pass. All right. Let me pull this up. Pulling this up, by the way, is like I hope your profile is public because I'm putting it up incognito. Okay. Yes. Thankfully. My goodness. That took a long time. So this is what you sent me, right? So let's check this out. Let's see what this looks like here. X this puppy out. You know, what's that Meatloaf song? 2 out of 3 ain't bad. In this case, there are 4. I would say 2 out of 4 ain't bad. 2 out of 4 ain't bad. Was that worth it, by the way? Was that joke worth it for all that work of pulling your picture up? You let me know. You let me know if that joke was worth it. 2 out of 4 ain't bad. I think it has to be very specific to people that know that song from Meatloaf. I don't think it deserves a car crash. It definitely doesn't deserve a car crash. But thank you for that, JT. It does show that a pass is definitely worthy of some breasts, especially the one on the left, your left. Very supple. Very supple, that Renaissance wench, I would say. Proud of you, man. Proud of you, man. God damn it. That took way longer than I wanted to. But could you imagine drop shipping my shirt? Come on, man. Be better. Be better.
Be better. Be
I
better.
have to remember,
Be better.
Michelle
Be
Obama is number 7. Lucky number 7, Michelle Obama. 6, car crash. 6 is a car crash. I have to do some sort of mnemonic device for that. Big crime. Okay, so I just realized. And also the topic of this is big crime. That's the name of it because we're gonna talk about something, in regards to a question that I had for myself while I was walking. But what's this here too? This is the other one. This ties into what we were talking about yesterday, on yesterday's stream in regards to dog poop. I'm an anti, um, pet person, right? I'm not a fan of pets. I think that you are putting your love and affection in something that's going to pass away during a bowel movement, essentially. So you are putting your love and care for something that's not going to last. And it's like, no, but it's about the memories it gives you and all that. Yeah, I get that. But look how much you're investing in this thing that's inevitably going to die in your lifetime. And you're going to have to let it go. You're giving yourself a moment that you have to do this, right? When you're cognitive, right? You could make the same argument about you as an individual, but hopefully by then you're shooting up heroin every day and incontinent mentally and physically. But when it comes to this sort of stuff, this is one of those things, right, that we created. This is my biggest thing when it comes to pets specifically is the necessity to pick up the poop, especially when it comes to a dog. And with cats, oh, you have a kitty litter box and you just have the cat poop in the kitty litter box. And then you still have to do something, right? Even if it's one of these automated machines, at some point, there is some action that has to be taken on your part. And with dogs, it's even worse because most people just grab a plastic bag, they put it over their hand, and they grab the poop. That's it. The only thing separating you from a layer of butterscotch poop, fresh butterscotch, just right from the factory poop, is a layer of fucking plastic bag. And I don't know if you noticed this in your plastic bag quality over the past couple years. It's gotten worse. They used to be strong and stringent, like the bags from Winn-Dixie and Publix that we used to have, that you could put your whole life, you could put your problems in that bag, and it's not going to spill. Now, it can't even hold a jar of instant coffee. It no longer has the capacity of holding Sanka. So you're going to trust that? This terribly milled product with protecting your hand from dog poop? And we come up with shit like this. Right? This is a solution to the problem. Let me take out the audio because there's probably going to be some copyrighted shit. But this is, obviously, it speaks for itself, right? Oh, it's a little cute thing. Oh, look, you just put it with the bag and you grab the poop. You just grab the poop. Look at that. Simple. A nice, clever solution, right? For those of you guys that, because, there's some pet owners, right? Some of you pet owners, you guys don't like that. You guys don't like picking up poop, right? So we came up with a device that helps you do that. Now, let me ask you a question, right? Let me ask you a question about the design of this particular compromise that you've brought into my fucking existence. Look at the size of this thing, right? Look at the size of this thing. Even if you have a small dog, as we used to back in my mom's house, it would still take regular size shits, right? It wouldn't take cute little puppy pellet shits. It would take meaty shits. So what's to say that this thing is not going to encompass the entirety of the poop? So you're going to have now, you've essentially cut it. You're creating a poop cutter. This is like a pizza cutter for poop. So this is not guaranteed that it's going to be able to scoop the entire load and then have it. You're still going to have poop on the sides of that thing, man. You're still going to have poop on the side of that thing. And if anything, you're going to have to do multiple takes, and then poop is going to spill on poop. And then guess what? Now you have a fucking poop nightmare. All because you decided, oh, I'm going to get a pet. And I'm going to use this device to pick up my pet. What's this? People still picking up doggy with that warm, squishy feeling. I gag every time I see my friends picking up dog poop. I gag. I violently gag. And this is one of the things that I imagine would probably make me gag even worse. Just the thought of even if it's like a crunchy poop, like a very hard one. No, still you have to just let go, guys. Stop getting pets. And I know it's a big deal because people are very defensive dog moms, right? You have all the signs. Oh, I'm a dog mom. Look at my doggy card. I'm going to get my dog a fucking Halloween costume. What are you doing? So I'm very, and it's not even part of like the whole PETA thing where it's like, no, animal liberation. That's not even that. It's this right here, using my head. Right, we're trying to domesticate these things. They used to roam free, and now we have to subject ourselves to picking up the poop, and then we try to find a way to solve that, and we end up making ourselves have more problems. Spooky season is here. What's the costume this year? A wasp? Well, I usually have curse. Let's see. Manel sent me a picture. This is me. Oh, it's that's funny. You've somehow taken the picture. Let me make sure that I'm not showing anything else here. You've taken me there, and you've made that into what looks like to be some sort of like a church window, right? Me from my awkwardness. I appreciate that. That looks reminds me of my previous virginity. But spooky season is here. I'm not a huge costume guy. I'm not a huge fan of the costumes, right? I'll partake in like a little whatever if we go out and get some drinks. But I'm not going to be, let me think too much about my costume. I'm not going to be one of those guys or one of those bros that does about 14 cycles of trend right before Halloween season. So they have an excuse to not wear anything covering their bodies. And they just ripped, right? I'm not one of those guys either, obviously. So I'm just not a fan of the Halloween costume aesthetic. I'm a fan of the drinking aspect of it. I'm a fan of the partying aspect of it. I'm not a fan of the old costumes. And obviously, I like looking at pretty ladies in skimpy outfits. So that's the other one. That's the other side of the coin. But maybe, who knows? Yeah, I might bust out my bee costume. Could you imagine I bought that bee costume for one video that I did for illusionist.com? I did it for the bee deck. I bought it, and I thought it was great. That video is actually one of my favorite deck reviews because of how many bee puns and the whole bit, right? Like, hey, I'm going to put some honey on you. Obviously, that was a semen joke. R.I.P. Meatloaf, dog shit, and then look at you thinking, that's right, you pick up my shit. Terrible what we've done and what we've subjected ourselves to just for the sake of being a dog mom. Putting a shirt saying, oh, I love my dog, or you look in your the fucking passenger, not the passenger, the back of the car, and they have those stickers, right? And you have the man, you have the woman, and you have the fucking dog. Come on, be better. Lucky number 7.
Be better. Be better.
Be better, right? You see, I remember it. I'm 7, Michelle Obama, right? If you're familiar with the conspiracy, you get this 7 looks like a penis. It's a car crash. That's a car crash. See if they have any Jabrizi merch. Well, I already X'd it out. Of that when it came to that particular. But it doesn't have a weird drop shipping system that you're drop shipping shirts from Teespring. Like, I guess maybe they're putting it for more. They're buying it. But then eBay, their fees are, I would argue, predatory. Their fees are predatory. Their fees are like 70%. I know, obviously, that's not the case, but it's ridiculous. I was selling something for a friend of mine, and then they banned my fucking account for no reason. No recourse, no reason, no rhyme. Why would you ban the account? I've had the account since 2005, by the way. 100 reviews, or sorry, not 100, but 100% 5-star rating on my eBay. And they just destroyed it. Destroyed it without any reason explaining why. Thank you. Fuck off. Yeah, but now you need to clean the poop scoop. Well, the idea is that the bag goes over the poop scoop, right? So that then you would use the bag to encompass the poop. But even if you do that, you're not accounting for bigger poops, right? Do they have a bigger poop scooper? Probably. But you're still at some point, it's disgusting. It's a disgusting thing that we've done to ourselves as humans. And I think if aliens come down and they see us and how we treat pets, immediately they're going to realize that we're inferior beings and probably blow us up. So I blame you and your pets if aliens ever come to Earth and blow us up. Michelle's at least a 7.4. I think I've rated her before. She's thick. Michelle Obama's very thick. She does have a thick posterior. I do recall seeing her in some pants and, good stuff. But this right here is a car crash. Pinicius says, Magician's Note, you could use the hole in your house key to make imprints in your hands and risk to convince your friends you have monkeypox. That is true, right? Let me see if I could do it this way. Hide my key so people can't copy it, right? Unfortunately, this is the key that I have, right? So it's one of these keys. It's one of these poopy keys. You used to do that, or I used to do that with lighters. So you could make it look like you have blisters, the top of the lighter, right? So a lot of people are wondering, how can I get a blister gimmick? Not to be virgin-y here, but something that will leave an imprint on your finger to make it look like you have a blister. So then you would get a lighter, light it over the finger, and then go, I have a blister. And then you could rub it away and show your healing powers. You could just use the top of the lighter. You press the finger on the top of the lighter as you reach for it in your pocket. You pull it out. You pretend to have a hard time lighting it. You light it, and then you go it over the finger, and you go, and it looks like, and you don't need anything extra. You just need the lighter. So that was an interesting bit from it. But hey, I'm subscribed since a long time, but I never see you stream. How you doing, man? Hey, man, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Every time somebody says, hey, dude, I've been subscribed, but I haven't watched in a long time, it makes me feel better about you guys, because it lets me know that you're doing other stuff, right? You're doing probably better stuff than sitting there practicing little nuanced card tricks, right? Figuring out how to turn 2 cards over without making it look like you have 2 cards that are being turned over. My goodness, could you imagine if you rationalized and put a logic as to the things that we practice and spend our time with? Especially magic. Magic's kind of a rough one because we're essentially practicing a fake art. Down in Pro says beach. You just said beach on Twitch. I keep going back and forth between Twitch and YouTube, but I am streaming on both. I'm probably going to stop on Twitch, but we'll see that. I mean, it's only day 3 of my October, the fucking streaming project. And I'm not going to stop like Jarek120, where he did it on day essentially 10 of 365. Oh, I stopped doing magic tricks every day. Well, you kind of ruined the whole point of your documentary that you made on yourself. I mentioned that yesterday. I'd use a small shovel, says Manel, in reference to the poop. Your mic volume fluctuates like waves. I tested it before, and I fixed some stuff. But it's good. Should be good. I don't know if that's you. Maybe it should be your stuff. Like if it's that sort of the same idea of that episode of House where the guy goes, everything I touch hurts. Ow. See, that hurts. Ow. Ow. And it turns out he had a broken finger, right? Maybe it might be the device in which you're listening. It might be that device. Probably an AliExpress, I would guess. Some AliExpress beats. That's probably what I would guess. See if they have already did that one. You see, bro, dogs are awesome. Nobody will ever love you like your dogs. Your dog will always be happy to see you no matter how big of a piece of shit you are. I've heard that argument many times, right? Like the dog's like your companion, obviously man's best friend, right? I get that. But I'm eliminating that from my life. I'm not getting to the point where I'm putting my love and affection into an animal. The same thing happened when we got a dog back at my mom's place, right? We got a dog. We're complaining because like, oh man, I don't want a dog. We don't want to. And then eventually after a couple weeks, like it became part of the family and now you love the thing, right? It's the same thing. Unfortunately, we're humans. We're prone to that. I'm not going to put myself in a position where I'm going to love an adorable dog. All right. Although I wouldn't get a dog. I'd probably end up getting some sort of duck. Maybe a really cute duck that I'd carry with me everywhere. Feed it stuff. Have it poop on my stuff every 15 minutes, as ducks are known to do. But I know, unfortunately, I'm removing that aspect from my life. But I think it's a good thing because I'm removing the future pain that I'm going to have when I have to put that dude out. When I have to take him out back and then put one in his brain. You know what I'm saying? So I'm removing that from my life, and I think that that's a better compromise. How is it that the Russian genius is contacting you? Isn't he fighting Ukrainian separatists in a Donbass region? I should hit him up now. Let me hit him up here. Wait, I forgot to add this, says Manel. Let's see this. This is going to be, okay, SpongeBob. That was a SpongeBob blowing Patrick. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. It reminds me of Lloyd Barnes the other day, joined in a stream and sends me a video or a picture of a Panasia, right? A relative Panasia. So let's hit him up and see what's up with our good old friend, the RG. Because he said that we should talk soon. We should talk sometime tomorrow. Whoops. That was a week ago. I'm terrible when it comes to responding, man. It's cost me Vagine. It's definitely cost me Vagine. Mojo Turbo says, yo, how much water did you get in the storm? We didn't get a lot of water here. We got a lot of wind. We got a lot of obnoxious wind, which knocked our power for a little bit. But it wasn't as terrible as I'm reading now. But we trade. We trade with that side of Florida. So we'll get a bad hurricane. They'll get a bad hurricane. We'll get a bad hurricane. They'll get a bad hurricane. And here they just so happen to get a bad hurricane. And Well, now they're dealing with that. We haven't had one, I believe, since 2018, but I'm sure it's coming. I'm sure it's coming, and it's just gonna do this right here to us. Can't wait for that to hit us in the gonads. I still have this channel up. I'm trying to. I want to know the mystery here. I really do. Let me see if this person really did delete the comment, just to give you guys the context. In my video today, somebody left a comment in regards to a magic channel with a very attractive lady here that used to do reviews, and said that she got bullied out of doing reviews. I can't imagine there's anything worse than being bullied by a magician. I think that might be one of the worst things that you could possibly deal with, just because, right? It's very easy. It's very easy to retort anything on a magician. You're a magician. You're the lowest form of life in the planet. I know, because I'm you. I'm one of you. I'm him. Like that famous Obi-Wan Kenobi meme, right? I'm you. So how could you get bullied by a magician? I know that there was a big thing, I think in the Magic Cafe, a kid got bullied potentially to a catastrophic end from something on the cafe, if I do recall. And again, it's magicians. My goodness. This is the lowest form of life in the planet. And for them to hold their esteem higher than you, to where you take their opinion seriously, that's kind of a rough one. That's kind of a rough one. I don't know if I might be accurate on that. Accurate, as DJ Khaled would say. In my walk yesterday, by the way, I was starting to wonder and think, how is it that, or rather, why is it that women are obsessed with true crime, right? I find myself watching a true crime documentary every once in a while, right? I find myself just there, kind of fixated. And I looked this up. I looked it up. I'm like, is there any reason why? And I made the mistake of looking it up because, unfortunately, if you think it exists, right? You can't come up with anything anymore. And somebody's going to come up with some shit justification for that line of thinking. So it's okay. You think of that query, right? Why do women obsess over killers and true crime more so than anyone else, right? Every woman that I know is obsessed with crime shows and crime podcasts. And it's because it's interesting, right? It's an interesting thing to be into. So it just so happens that females tend to gravitate towards that thing. I gravitate towards that. And last I checked, I have a penis, right? But then somebody wrote an article here that I pulled up while I was looking for it. And they turn it into some BS. So let's go in here and check this puppy out real quick. There's an article from Magellan, I believe. Magellan. I think there's some sort of network. And I looked up, why are women obsessed with serial killers and true crime, right? And the more I read this, the more I realize, oh, okay, I kind of get it. So this is the one that really set me off here. I believe if I could find this. Did I highlight it? No. I hope I did. I could have gone. There you go, right here. It says the most popular and commonly accepted explanation as to why women love true crime is because they feel consciously or subconsciously that they might learn something from it. I don't know if you could see it, by the way. Maybe I should lose a little bit of that self-aggrandized view that I have of myself. Oh, great. Yeah, that's what I want. No, me. Lower me. All right. You know, I'll do that on when you guys can't see me fixing my terribly framed podcast. But so it says because they feel subconsciously that they might learn something from it because they see themselves more often in true crime stories, right? So they go, though men are statistically more likely to commit violent crimes or be murdered, more violent crimes are committed against women than men overall. That's not true. That's not true. I looked it up. And it affects men more so. More crimes. The only ones that tend to be disproportionate when it comes to crime is sexual crimes, which is unfortunate. But that's the only one that tends to deviate towards women, whereas the majority of other ones happen to men. So right off when I read this, I'm like, I don't know if that's going to be the case. But it says, in addition, women accounted for roughly 70% of serial killer victims. See, but this isn't I'm talking about true crime. Serial killers are one component of it. All right, so I found myself reading this and going through a rabbit hole as to crime statistics, and it was an interesting rabbit hole. And it could have been answered in just a couple sentences, which is serial killers and true crime is interesting. It's an interesting topic, right? But you see the peppering in of this sort of stuff. But I looked it up. They account for 22% of violent crimes, right? Males account for the rest of that. But they mentioned serial killers because this is a higher percentage. They do tend to look for females more so than men. But that's the only one, right? The rest of it's 22%. Not to say that we're competing for numbers here, but I just found it to be a little interesting rabbit hole that I went through. And generally, it's just interesting shit. You don't got to postulate. It's just interesting to look at. Like Dahmer, look at all the stuff that he's getting, all the attention now with this new show. It's interesting to look at, right? You look at that sort of stuff and you wonder what was going through that guy's head when he was doing this stuff. Because you're different. Generally speaking, as a population, you're different to that, right? We have a different mentality. We have a different psychology. So when you see somebody like that, that's deviant and different, you want to know about it. You want to learn about it. And then they have to pepper in all this stuff. And then it becomes, it's because they're hiding for their lives because of the evil man. No, that's not the case, right? Is it an outlet for female rage? What? Like, what do you... Let's see who wrote this. I always like looking at the authors of... Eden Gordon. Let's see. Before I look her up, I'm willing to bet 5.2. That's just me postulating here. Eden Gordon. Let's look her up here. I always like to do this just because it lets me give an insight as to what the type of person that writes these articles. I was off. Right? I think I was off by a little bit. You see the cats. It's a common theme. Right? 6.8. Right? 6.8. I think. 7 on a good day. Right? I would say a 7. Solid 6.8. Something to be proud of, man. Some of us wish that we could aspire to be 6.8s and 7s. You know, especially us. Us height deprived individuals. That's what I'm calling us now. Notice how I'm referring to not just me. I'm referring to us, the movement, the short king movement, right? We're here and we're not going to go anywhere. And we last longer, by the way. Tall people tend to die faster. Short people, we live longer. So you make fun of us for only a short amount of time until it's your time, baby. And we're still running around. Yeah, it takes us more steps to run around, but we're still here longer, dog. Be better. I'm not going to put the thing. Michelle is a 5.5. Oprah is a 7.5. I think you're just looking at her. You're looking at her wallet, man. You're looking at Oprah's wallet. I would say thick Michelle is definitely. I don't know what I gave her, but go back. It's scientific. I can't regurgitate the rating system that I gave her because I don't want to undermine what I previously gave her. I used to watch Miss Mag a lot back in the day. Yeah, Miss Mag was a tease. Miss Mag did this to us, right? Miss Mag said, hey, guys, I'm going to make videos. I'm going to come back. And then he didn't end up coming back. He ended up just making a couple sporadic videos here and there, right? But I do miss Miss Mag. I miss the Miss Mag. I used to make a lot of bits with Miss Mag. I sent him the video to put on his channel years ago, and it was kind of awkward. Because I'm like, hey, here's a video. What do you think of it? And then he goes, oh, that's cool. What do you want to do with it? I'm like, if you could put it on your channel, that'd be great. And I don't think he responded back. I'm like, okay, thank you for that. I appreciate that, Mr. Mag. Manel says, I'm inside of you. You need a pet pig. Obviously, they're smart and you could house train them. That is true, right? But the problem is that they grow, right? I believe the teacup pig is a scam. Because they don't stay that way for long. They're only tiny and cute for a little amount of time, and then they grow into these engorged things that, according to yesterday's stream, could kill you. Which I don't believe. I could destroy any pig in combat. Not any of these feral war pigs that you might see in a forest, but pigs in general. The pig that you might see normally, right? I'll take it. I'll take it on. Give it a rear naked choke. I'll kill a pig. I remember back in the day, growing up Cuban, obviously, people love pork. Pork is a big part of the Cuban diet. And one of the things that they hide from you as a youth is how they prepare the pig, right? And usually these pigs are raised, right? They're raised by the family. They're taken in as pets by the young ones. And then eventually, when it's some sort of time for a celebration, they just fucking punch the pig right in the neck, just right in the fucking neck, and make sure that it's dead, and then start preparing it. That was the running bit, right? It was that they would do this move right here. I don't know if you're familiar with middle school moves, but there were a couple middle school, elementary school moves that could kill you potentially. This was one of them. You fucking put the nose in the nose bone in the brain. There was a kid I remember in fifth grade that he got into some conflict with another one, and then at the end of the fight, he does this thing right here, about to give the death blow to another kid, and some girl goes, "No, don't do it," because of course the running myth was that you could push the nose bone into the brain and kill him. So she said, "No, don't kill him," as if Christopher was gonna kill Brian, right? No, that wasn't gonna work. Okay. But that was the perception back in the day. Women love true crime because they're all crazy. That's accurate. But then again, look at us. Could you really say that we're different as not just as men, but as magicians? Unfortunately, here, right, the majority of you guys, I still hold hope that at one point the majority of the audience is not going to be magicians, but there are people that are interested passively in magic. Real people, normal people, right? Normal people with healthy social lives, and normal people that aren't bogged down by how much of a gap you could see on your pinky break. That's what I want in life. That's all I want in life, really, right? I think that's all we asked for. The new Ariel is a 10. Says Anthony. Let me check her out. The new Ariel. I do believe that she has a really good singing voice. Ariel movie. You see Ariel Winter there. Let's see. The Little Mermaid. Halle Bailey. That's confusing, right? Is that not a little bit confusing that her name is Halle Bailey? First of all, I always like to look at the age. 22. Okay, so we're safe, right? We're safe. I don't know. There's some good assets. The stuff there is great. I would say, great assets, great shape of stuff. But again, this is coming from a shorter person, so you make your judgment as you would. But there's something about the Uma Thurman eyes. Right, the distance there. If you're familiar with college football commentator Lee Corso has the exact opposite of this, where his eyeballs are on the bridge of his nose. This one is a little bit the eyes, I would say, are that of a fish. So it's very interesting that she's playing Ariel, but the rest of it's great. The rest of it's fantastic. The rest of it's good. So it's only that, right? But I like the presentation there. So I know you're being facetious there, but I don't know if I could necessarily give it a rating. Just because I'm a face guy, man. I'm big into the face. I like the face. I prefer a better face than the rest of it, right? Because that's what you look at. That's what you have to deal with. So imagine if you have a catastrophe here and the rest of it's great. It's going to kill the mood. It's going to kill the rest of it for me. However bad that sounds. Are her eyes on the side of her head? Alien. Watching in Vegas, says Chico the Coaster. The rest of it's great, but the eyes are really not doing it for me. So, man. I'm still stuck, unfortunately. As a Cuban man, I look at the rest of it and I'm like, man, babies. So many babies in there. Like a 7.8, I think. 7.5. I feel good about that one. I feel good about that. That's where I feel good. It's science. It's a science. You have to do it. You have to feel it. And you have to be proud of it and embrace it. People are very weird when it comes to the rating system. No. You have to feel it. You have to embrace it. And you have to stick with it. What else here do we have? The new area, already read that one. Crazy. Manel says, my life goal is to reach 6.378. That's very specific. I think you would increase your rating if you weren't so specific when it came to your rating system, right? That would probably make you better. That would probably edge you to a 6.8 or at least a 6.4 if you didn't specifically have like, oh, that's a 7.596. You know, it makes you sound like you carry around a calculator. She's a Tennessee 8, a Miami 5.7. You nailed it, right? I've mentioned it a lot as to the local bar that I used to frequent a lot. And within the confines of the bar, every single individual has an additional 4 points of attractiveness. So because of the confines of the bar. So, you know, if you're a 0, you would ordinarily be a 4 in the confines of that area. If you're a 6, you're a 10, right? Now, I compared it to Publix, the grocery store, or a Target, where the bar that we would go to, whereas if you have a bar 4, which is a 0, in Publix, okay, hold up, let me redo this. That was a car crash. Stop. Okay. So if you have the rating of an 8 within the confines of the bar, in the store, you are a 4. There you go. That's a simple explanation, right? So in Publix, in Target, you are a 4. But if you are a Target 8, you're a supermodel. You're a supermodel because inside of Target, it's hard. Everyone there is attractive. Michelle's an 8. That's her dick size, though. Kirk says she looked like she just hit light speed. That's rough. That's a rough one. I'll give you the pin of glory for that. She looks like she hit light speed. So I'm going to pin that. The pin of glory, just because that was good. That was way better than anything I could come up with. Some people have deserved car crashes here, Leonard. Unfortunately, right? I got a couple car crashes today. If there was some way to allow you to do the car crashes, I would do that. So allow the community that watches these to do the car crash. I would do that. But unfortunately, alas, my friends, I think that would result in chaos. That's where an edgy middle schooler that would defend anarchy, that's a great representation of where it would end up, right? They go, no, we need to live in an anarchy society, right? Well, then, look at how it's represented in the microcosm of a YouTube live stream. If I give everybody the ability to do a car crash, well, then guess what? We're only going to be watching car crashes. We're only going to be watching car crash. You can make the argument that this is in fact a large car crash, right? This is just a car crash, metaphorically speaking. But no, it would literally be car crashes every millisecond. So that would be a great representation of anarchy and a good way to argue with those edgy middle schoolers that go, I like anarchy. No, you don't. No, you don't. I do recall that in middle school, right? When we're talking about the different forms of being as societies, there was always that one weird kid that's like, well, why don't we have anarchy? It's like, well, you wouldn't last. You wouldn't last there, buddy. All right, you have a fucking inhaler. You think that's going to do well in anarchy? Damn Cubans take playing with their food to a whole nother level. Yeah, that was a thing. And it was a very common thing. I had a lot of family members that would raise pigs only to eventually hit them with the move. So I guess I went on a large tangent. But the other move, apart from the nose bone in the brain, was this move, where you could punch them twice. Right, so that was the other devastating move in elementary school, middle school. You raise your knuckle like this, so when you punch them, they get the knuckle first, and then they get the rest, or they get the knuckle of the middle finger, and then they get the rest of the fist, right? So you hit them twice for one. That used to be the other rumor and the other death move that you would do in middle school. So it's like, yo, you hit him, and then you hit him twice. It's like, you're also going to break your finger. Do it. Do it. Is your next advice? No, if you want all the strength, just put your thumb in your hand and then punch them. That gives you the strength, a little bit of a jolt from the thumb. Try that one next time. All men are assholes and all women are crazy. That's just science. I think that would be a more simplistic way of writing it in the books, right? I think that would be way better than what we have now, which is weird explanations of chemical imbalances and the differences and all that.
So I prefer that one. I would have preferred teaching that in psychology rather than the nuanced one that we got. But it being 5, I think this is a good one. I think we could call this, right? I'm not sure as to the formatting of these particular streams, but I do know that I want to stream every day for at least an hour. So I want to do at least make these hour streams and then do them on a daily basis. So 4 p.m. Eastern time is when I'm going to do them every day in October. Of course, on Wednesdays, it's 11 because that's the normal usual PigCast, right? So I'm not going to leave that particular one. It's still going to happen at 11 in the morning Eastern time and Pacific, right? Eastern time, not Eastern time, Pacific, Eastern time. But you could watch that, of course, in addition to the usual tirade of PigCake content that you're already used to on YouTube and on the PigCake Magic Academy. Look at all the content you get from Piggy. You get the PigCake Magic Academy, 5 videos a week. You get YouTube, which could be, usually it's 3 to 4 videos a week, right? You get, the way I'm doing it now, to Monday, Tuesday, and then Friday you get a tutorial. Look at that, right? So much Piggy content. There's too much of me. I might be oversaturating. And I might be providing too much for what is very little demand. You notice that too, right? There's not enough demand, but there's more supply. But luckily for you, I'm cheap. I'm cheap, so I matched that because of the price. It makes sense. It makes sense. But that is the stream, my friends. Again, I'm going to be here tomorrow, Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. So look out for that. What can I tell you here at the end of the video? What little bits could I give you? Let's see. What did I do today? Oh, here's a good one. Right, so I've been doing these workouts. I've mentioned this before, but I can't tell you how effective they've become. So I know that some people have said, oh, you have each suit be a different workout, and then you do that many reps. No, that's dumb. What you want to do is just focus on one body part. Focus on one body part. And each one of these counts as 10 reps for that particular body part, right? And you hit the body part in all the different senses of the word, and you just work out throughout the day. You just work out throughout the day. You're not working out all at once. You're working out throughout the day. Obviously, you try to focus on form. You're not trying to go for reps. The form is more important than the number. You're not doing these these ego reps, right? That's the other bit. But each one is 10, and you're going to keep track of that. By the end of the day, how many reps you've done. And you'd be surprised as to how many reps you could knock out in a day, especially if you're an online worker, right? If you're working from home, or if you, even if you don't, and you come back and you just, want to do some workout throughout the day, maybe on your day off, it's a good way to do it and get your reps in and not be a disgusting, not inebriated, but thin, pasty magician. Right, so just teaching you different ways to not look like a magician. You could be a magician, but as long as you don't look like one. I'm going to end that with a car crash. And then a smooth transition.